we can see 100k, 17th of the 1st, started account, 100k to a million challenge, done that under a week. So we can see from the 22nd here, 833, and then it just keeps creeping up. So we get to 912, 933, and then we get to a million just there.
Okay, so same account you can see here, sitting on 12 million, started on the 17th. I mean, we're looking at 2 weeks here. 2 weeks, we've turned 100k into 12 million. And you know, feels a bit surreal because it's just constant. I mean, look at all these trades. I'm not too sure it goes back. It's actually going back now. Before it wasn't going back in history, but you can see these trades down here. You know, there's not it's got 2 losses there. So we're talking about, you know, the win rate here is just insane. We're going back here, so we're back on the 23rd here, and you can see the you know, the account balance around 800. So this is where we pretty much left off, and when we start scrolling up, you can see 1, 2. You know, this is not messing about here. And when I talk about some of these entry positioning strategies and how to use the capital, then you're going to see serious gains. So just had an example on Bitcoin. You can see here these order blocks up the top here. You know, tapped into a couple of times, reacted. Now we've had a nice move down. Now disregard what's going on in the news. Okay, there's news releases and stuff like that, which is going to initiate liquidity and manipulation and stuff like that. But just look at this BPA here. Okay, now when price is sitting up here, this BPA is up here. Sorry, down here, and you know it's unfulfilled, and then it's peaked out the top of this order block, stole all that liquidity, and this is the 1 minute chart. Okay, the 1 minute chart. Look at those wicks at the top of the order block. Okay, and then it starts to come down. Where does it come down? It comes down to the BPA on freaking nose, right there. It does have a few spikes into these lower order blocks. When you're looking at 3 minute chart, you can see just this nice clean order block here, and pushes into it. All good. I still think we're going lower though. We'll see. We'll see. So these are the type of entries I've been looking. You can see in the Overwatch video, this Overwatch video where you know, just basically back testing some of the entries. They're not live entries. I've got some live entries knocking about somewhere, but this is pretty much what I've been doing and how I've been attacking it, and using the different position sizing strategies to manage entries, manage drawdowns and things like that. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes just talking about some of the, well, not the advanced strategies, but some position sizing strategies you may not have thought about, and you know, we just talk a bit about that. Okay, so we just do a very simple example here just to get this idea across. You know, your risk is going to be 1 to 3% of your account. Let's just call it that for now, and you know, no more than 20% at risk max. Okay, so you know, if something happens or whatever, you're going to have a mental stop loss, you know, around 5%. But at any time, you know, you don't want to risk more than 20%. You know, you could have 4 positions on with the idea of the max risk of 5%. So that's 20%. So you've got that 4 times 5% max running positions. That's 20% max risk. And this is how, you know, you're going to get into the big numbers, is running multiple positions. You can't just run one position and try and attack it that way. It's just not, it may work. It's just going to take forever though. And it could be very frustrating. So we've got R here, and you know, you want to be aiming for more than 1 R on each win. So here we have some trade samples, and we've got the R multiple here, which is 2R, minus 1R, 3.4, etc. So, you know, what I'm going to do is we're going to add in the account value, accruing, and we're going to add in the R multiple as a count for the £1,000 account. So now you can see the amount in pounds of each trade. So you can see it's 488 total, and if we was to add the 2, so it'd be a total of £1,488, which is about a 48% increase. Now I'm just going to show you some of the options that I was doing. Here on each trade is going to be called the market's money. Okay, now the market's money, what we're going to do each trade here is we're going to add this on to the next risk. Okay, so we're going to work backwards here. You can see you've got the R, the risk, which I'm about to fill out in pounds, this is. Okay, so here you can see the new table for calculating this return. What I'm going to do is going to work backwards, reverse engineer this and show you what the risk would be after we've got this, and just show you the difference in the account value after using this different position sizing strategy. So what we've got here from this first trade is a 2R multiple result, which is 4% of the account size. So the account size we're going to have to put at the end here, and we've got 4% here, and that's basically £40 we can see from this previous trade, so we'll just put 40 here. Okay, so I can see a little cheeky BPA here on the 1 minute chart. Let's see if we can crack this. So we're going to put a trade here. We'll come back to that in a minute. So we've got £40, account value 1,400. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do trade 2, but what the formula is going to be is the R return divided by, let's call it 4 for now. So this is going to be the formula. The new R multiple is going to be the R, the original R, plus the previous R return divided by 4. Okay, so what is this? This is £40. So divide this by 10. Divide this by 4. Add this onto the new multiple. So we're just going to divide this result by 4, and that will give us £10 here. So with this £10, we're going to add this onto the R here. Okay, so instead of recalculating this for 2%, which would be £20 80p, we're going to basically add this £10 onto the previous R. So the formula would be this cell plus this cell equals 30. Okay, cool. So we've just lost £30. So we just delete this because it's irrelevant. So the new loss, we're going to lose £30 here minus 1R. Okay, so the result is minus 30. Okay, so we've took another trade and we've just done this calculation. So the new capital for the next R is minus 8, and the account value is on 1,010. So we've lost £30 there. So let's move on to the next trade. So the next trade is going to be £30 minus £8, and our gain is 3.4R. So if we multiply 3.4R by 23, we get 77, and then when we calculate the new R multiple, the new addition of capital onto the R, we'll just divide this by 4, which is £19. So the account balance with the new amount is 1,087. So the new R is going to be the previous R calculation plus £19. Okay, so we'll just calculate this. So £42 is the new R, and look at that, we've got a 5.2R trade here. Okay, so as you can see, we're on trade 9 here. We're on 6,472, which is like it's a big increase on the account value, and we're talking about it's over 600%. So we've got a minus 2R trade here, which I'm not going to say everything's going to go swimmingly, but we've got minus 2R. 1R here is £910. So when we recalculate this new R, 1,388 minus 2R. So if we calculate this, minus 2,776 loss, and the account value is on 3,696. So this minus 2R, this is why I put this at the end. So it's going to be a big hit of all of the accumulated markets money, and it's double. It's like double the original risk. And look at the account value, we're still over 350% up on the value of 10 trades. So that's double what this is. Okay, unfortunately you can see here that BPA didn't get filled, sell limit didn't get filled. So we just cancelled that. But what we will, let's just have a quick look on the NAS. Okay, it's come all the way up to this BPA. Got a BPA down here. which has actually been wicked into, but it could get revisited. So I've just entered a portion here, so we'll just put TP down there. Now I've got the stop loss just above these order blocks here. So it's like a 1.5 hour trade. We're gonna continue. So just to finish off, we can see the different returns on some of these, and you can see the power, and this is exactly the same trade. This is exactly the same return, but it's just the difference in position size and strategy. And this is how I got that, account up over 12 million in such a short period of time. It's all about the position sizing. Now, when you're live trading, there is going to be a difference in, you're going to be trading live, and those orders are going to be live, and they're going to be searched for, they're going to be exploited or tried to be exploited. So you need to almost have a plan to mitigate that. But this is just a position sizing strategy, and at any point, okay, this large drawdown here, at any point, if you get up here, this can be changed. Okay, I've just used this new capital. This is just this formula here divided by 4. This can be changed. This can be reset at any time. So you can just take 2% of this or 2% of this and start again. Okay, so very, very powerful way of how to manage the capital effectively and ramp it up very quickly. Okay, quick note about this trade. I'm just looking at the main screens here, and I can see some major this here. Okay, right hand chart. So yeah, we are in a bit of an uptrend. Okay, we come back down and retested these order blocks. That would have been a good spot to enter, but then we're coming back up and testing these order blocks, so we're going to have a test. But we'll see now. We've got the money flow popping up the top here. We'll see. So even though it isn't a great entry, I'm just going to show you some cool things now of how to potentially get out of here. So just by making a few amendments with the entry there, you can see we've changed it to almost like a 2-hour trade. Okay, so check that out. Nice. We've got 1 hour on the table, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to take some off. This is what I usually do, just take some off. Okay, we're going to move stop loss up here. We've got the take profit there. Now, what I usually do is just remove this, and then we will add some buy stops. So we just add some buy stops here, so in case it does come back up. Well, that's where I wanted to put the first one, but typed it in wrong. So here, so just above this curve, just there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Live entry there. So yeah, look at that. I mean, that wasn't even a trade that I was looking at. It's just a case of, let's just open that up. I see that BPR, this box there, and then it did go past, but then we just managed it and averaged into a position and so on. So I just close that there and just be done with it. But it just goes to show the power of combining all these different kind of tools and strategies and pieces of knowledge and extracting profits. So I've coded a new VWAP. It's got some cool kind of anchors on here, which I've just personally done myself. And when we start looking at some of these anchors, this 20k high from the 2017 bull market peak, look at that. And the 14k high just after the bull market peak before the corona crash, bam, look at that. Nailed it on the nose. I mean, when we start zooming into this, you can see it's exact. And so now that we've stopped trading this paper account, I was scoping across some different pairs, Nasdaq, gold, and just put this little thing together, which we'll just quickly talk about. We've got this. I mean, you can't really see it too much. So when we're looking at this 3-minute chart, when we're looking at the power of all this, price is moving up. Overwatch starts peaking out on the 3-minute, then starts to move down. Okay, cool, no worries. Starts to move down, forms an order block, retests the order block, has a reaction, come back down, retest the next kind of mitigation point, order block, however you want to word it, and it moves off into new highs. Okay, cool. So fib entry from this point to this point, retracement, or however you want to do that. It's not really a good idea to take that trade. I'm going to talk about more higher probability moves. So this moves up, okay, and then it's come back down to this last point. Okay, you can see that kind of bright order block in there and here. comes back down, tests it, steals some liquidity, moves off into new highs. And when we are talking about this stealing of liquidity, they're amazing entry points. So it starts peaking up again, and then it comes to this as a form of almost like a double top, and you can see this has closed up over that, retested it, and this Overwatch is topping out. So in your head you might think about taking short positions, which isn't a great idea. But when we start to just switch up and double up the time frame, you can see this has just started to peak out. So we've got this one here, and then the next one. So switching up to the upper time frame is key there when this starts to print multiple. If it just carries on, basically, there's no point in looking at it because it's just gonna carry on. And what happened after that. So let's just dissect this. It's peaked out on the Overwatch. So when we look at the 6 minute chart, you can see this kind of inside bar fake out, comes back down, and then breaks that kind of internal structure here. And you can see this here as it's kind of come all the way down here, and it's come back up. And if you can see this red box here, this is an order block. Okay, so that's formed. It's moved lower. It's come back in, tested it, and then actually come round and come up and just touched it here. So short positions coming down, stopped out those short positions, and then come down to steal this liquidity in this previous order block. So nice trade there, potential, but the better trade entry would be here because obviously we're moving up, and you get a candle closure here, but you see the candle closure you can just enter, have the stop loss down here, but you might get wicked out. It's just one of them things. But if you didn't, then you're looking at a 3-4 hour trade straight off the bat within the space of 15 minutes. And then it's come back into this order block again, bam, and then you've got another potential like high. The stop loss can be above this order block or even above this high if you want to go like that. And you're looking at a 2 to 4 hour trade again. So you could be looking at a potential 6 to 8 hour in the space of an hour. Yeah, and it's come and touched this order block again and move back up. So the point is it's like order block to order block. There was some news during this point which probably fueled it, but the point of this pointing this out is the fact that the Overwatch is doing multiple prints. So then when we switch up to the 6 minute, you can see this is nicely got one. This is when the Overwatch will be printing on this candle. Then you've got the next Overwatch print, inside bar, break of internal, like that small local structure, and then we start to move down. I haven't even mentioned this BPR, however you want to call it. It's very powerful tool. You can see here, it just slices through these BPA areas, and they're just imbalances. So these when these imbalances are around, you're going to see the price fall into these.